Good morning, family. Welcome to the Afro Latina Show. I am your host, Alicia Anabel Santos, La Diosa Dominicana La Santera. Welcome to episode 88, The Path to Freedom. This week, I have been reflecting on the Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And we're sort of wrapping up the last couple of chapters in the book. And today, Chapter 6 is The Toltec Path to Freedom, and it's about breaking old agreements. And old agreements to me means like the old story that we tell ourselves, that old narrative that keeps us stuck. So like for me, that old story, those old agreements are connected to what was said to me about my worth, and that I wouldn't be anything, and that I wouldn't be, being called a piece of shit, or being called a whore, or being told that, you're never going to amount to anything. And all of this old conditioning and programming about the kind of girl I would grow up to be. One of the things that I was told young was, con esa tú la vas a pagar todo. With that daughter of yours, you're going to pay for every fucked up thing that you've done in your life. People throwing their venom, and then, they throw the venom that you take as medicine, as poison, and it poisons your body. And so this idea of breaking old agreements is no longer believing the story, right? Just making a decision to move in the world and really free yourself of those things that are burdening you, that you're carrying. How can we lift that weight and send it back to its rightful place, right? So I'm just going to read a couple of things that jumped out for me. The one thing that rises is this question: are we really free? And who stops us from, let me just read some excerpts. Who stops us from being free? This is from page 102. Who stops us from being free? We blame the government, we blame the weather, we blame our parents, we blame religion, we blame God. Who really stops us from being free? We stop ourselves. What does it really mean to be free? Sometimes we get married and we say that we lose our freedom, then we get divorced and we are still not free. What stops us? Why can't we be ourselves? Food for thought. Then there's an excerpt that I love on page 103. If we observe humans who are 2 years old, we find that most of the time these humans have a big smile on their face and they're having fun. They are exploring the world. They are not afraid to play. They are afraid when they are hurt, when they are hungry, when some of their needs are not met, but they don't worry about the past, don't care about the future, and only live in the present moment. Very young children are not afraid to express what they feel. They are so loving that if they perceive love, I've lost myself. They are so loving that if they perceive love, they melt into love. They are not afraid to love at all. That is the description of a normal human being. As children, we are not afraid of the future or ashamed of the past. Our normal human tendency is to enjoy life, to play, to explore, to be happy, and to love. But what has happened with the adult human? Why are we so different? Why are we not wild? From the point of view of the victim, we can say that something sad happened to us. And from the point of view of the warrior, we can say that what happened to us is normal. What has happened is that we have the book of law, the big judge, and the victim who rule our lives. We are no longer free because the judge, the victim, and the belief system don't allow us to be who we really are. Once our minds have been programmed with all that garbage, we are no longer happy. Let me see. Is there anything else I want to share? That's it. So let's talk about that. We are wounded souls living in a wounded world. trying to do the best that we can. I think about the earliest people that I ever met, my mother and my father. They are the hugest influences on my life and my biggest influences in life, right? They're my biggest influences. They're my biggest role models. And so a lot of who I am today is from that conditioning and programming. And so while there are amazingly beautiful things, there are also incredibly painful things that have happened to me in that past. And this path to freedom is about undoing some of the damage that was done so that I can walk in the world free of carrying all these things that were not mine, but were given to me, were passed down, were my programming. And a lot of it is connected to insecurities and my self-esteem and self-worth. And, if I take a moment to understand where my parents come from, both migrating from the Dominican Republic in the 60s, leaving everything that they knew behind, coming to a country where they did not speak the language, where they were foreigners, and where even though they've been in this country almost 50 years, are still foreigners to many. And so how do you navigate those spaces? How do you navigate being of another world, being in this world, and carrying all of the things that you brought from your past and your conditioning? And so one of the things that I've had to reconcile is that my parents did the best that they could. They're not, the self-help type. Not that they don't look for ways to improve themselves. I'm not saying that, because I know that for a fact that my mother is a person of great faith and my father is someone who is always trying to grow and develop himself and expand and learn. He's very well versed in a lot of the politics in Latin America, and it's something that we argue and debate all the time. So he's definitely feeding his soul. But I also know that they are wounded children too. And so the thing that I love most about chapter 6 in the 4 agreements is a section where Don Miguel talks about being a child, and how if you watch a child play the adult, play lawyer, play doctor, you see their face change, very serious. We can learn so much from children. I think that has been the biggest breakthrough I've had on this journey of playing and having this diary. This is a lot of fun for me. It's a lot of fun for me because I get to share every day how I'm feeling as I wake up in the morning and some of the things that are rising for me. And then I can think, this is play. This is playtime for me. My practice in the morning from 5 to 8 is playtime. I get to play again, and I have forgotten how to do that. And unfortunately, it's taken being depressed, coming out of my depression and trying to figure out how to play again. Writing for a long time wasn't fun for me. And so how can I make writing fun for me? And so now I've incorporated dance. I've incorporated movement, right? I'm listening more. I'm playing. I'm having a lot more fun. I was listening to a Paulo Coelho conversation, and he talked about being enthusiastic. Enthusiasm from the Greek word theos, God, enthos, possessed by God, and God inspired, and then enthusiasmos, possessed by a God. Like, whoa, when I sit here, I get to play and say, I am a gift of God, and this thing that I'm doing with my writing is a gift from God, and so why shouldn't I have fun? I have been given the greatest gift from the Creator himself, and I'm a creator myself, and so we get to play together. And so I'm really excited because I'm starting to understand this idea of being free. I was watching, I I binge watched a beautiful show, The World of Dance. J-Lo's she's the executive producer of it. It's dope. I love it. She's the creator for it. I think of all the things that she's done, this particular show, this reality show about the world of dance is something that she's excellent at. She's an amazing dance mentor. And there was this one contemporary dancer, her name was Ava. And when she performed, J-Lo said to her, "You've changed. What is it that you're feeling, when you dance, when you've changed?" It was these weeks, I don't know how many weeks, but it was many weeks. And on one of her last performances, she wanted to know what was the change that she was seeing. And Ava said that when she's dancing, she feels free. She feels like that is the closest that she can be herself, her authentic self. And for me, I interpreted that moment as that's the moment that she can be free to dance with God. That the God that had blessed her and given her this incredible gift of dance and movement. And so I'm very excited about a lot of the things that I'm attracting right now, in my playfulness. And so with that, know that we have an amazing opportunity to change that programming and conditioning. We have control. We're the ones who have control over that, how we rewrite the story, right? How we write the story as of today and what we're choosing to believe about ourselves. Will you play like a child, or will you be the serious adult? I can't play because I have responsibilities. Let's meditate. Sit comfortably. Let's take some deep breaths in, out, in, out. Keep breathing. If I allowed myself to play, I would. If I allowed myself to play, I would. What would you do? Where would you go? Who would you be? What does it look like? Where are you? See it. What are you doing? What are you wearing? Are you alone? Are you with people? If you could play and just have fun and just let go, you would do what? Now I want to see you. I want you to see yourself actually doing it. How can you just go? Don't tell anyone. How could you just go and do that thing that would be so much fun and bring you so much joy? How can you free yourself of the things that keep you incarcerated and trapped? And how will you feel when you do it? When you're ready, come out. I see myself dancing in this amazingly beautiful field. I'm wearing a beautiful dress. I'm barefoot. My hair is long. I'm out. And I'm just flowing and moving, and my skirt is lifting in the air, and I'm doing all of these spins, and I'm just spinning, and I'm just spinning, and I'm just spinning, and I'm just spinning, and my arms are extended, and I'm free, and I'm happy. And I know and trust that in that moment, I feel liberated, completely liberated and open to receiving, right? My loves, that is our diary for today. My intention is to play, to honor the incredible blessings that have come my way. And so I'm wishing you peace, love, joy, dance, fun, smile. If you like what you're hearing, please like, subscribe, leave a message, leave your reviews. Find me on iTunes and leave your reviews there, on SoundCloud, The Afro Latina Show. I'm also on Instagram, Alicia La Santera, and The Afro Latina Show. And I'm wishing you the most amazing, amazingly beautiful day. Peace.